On December 18th, 2019, temperatures spiked in Australia, igniting widespread fires, sending clouds of smoke billowing into Brisbane. In the suburbs where I lived, life went on unaffected, as if nothing had changed. But I knew that fires burning south of the city in New South Wales were endangering stands of old-growth forest where I had been shooting video for the last year or so. I decided to pack my gear to see how these forests were faring under this onslaught of fire and heat. Today is December 20th, 2019, and yesterday was the hottest recorded national average temperature for Australia for all time at 41.9 degrees, which is 107.4, smashing the previous record of the day before, which was Tuesday. Today is Thursday, and that was 40.9 degrees or 105.6. We're driving down from Brisbane south to a place called the Toonambar National Park, which is right on the border between New South Wales and Queensland, the two states on the east coast of Australia. And it's not quite that hot here. It's only about 34, which is mid-90s. But there's just an incredible blanket of smoke. And I'll try and take some pictures of it, but the entire landscape is just getting hazier and hazier. So yeah, this land is just dry and it's drying up, and if projections are correct, current projections I've been reading about have been saying that this part of the world could rise by another 6 degrees centigrade by the end of the century. But even now it's burning. And I'm wondering if we're not seeing the beginning of what some people might claim to call catastrophic onset global climate change. We've been pumping carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere so quickly, especially when you consider it in geologic terms, for the last 200 years, which is a blink of the eye, that the results, when they do manifest themselves, they could be very, very quick, and I wonder if we're not seeing some of that now. I'm going to try and take some pictures of the smoke and the landscape as we continue on. There's a lot of farmers out in this area. It's pretty rural, and it just seems like it's a matter of time before all these farms just dry out, and I think a lot of these farmers are headed out of business. Sooner or later, one or the other, or they're just going to get burned out. But we'll keep going, and we'll take a look at some of these last stands of old growth forest that used to blanket the entire east coast of Australia before European colonization. And the last stands are usually in some fairly inaccessible areas. For example, the one that we're headed to in Toonambar is part of an ancient volcanic crater, and because those areas were fairly inaccessible, they often weren't logged, and the last stands of old growth trees were then subsequently turned into national parks. But those are burning too, after some of these forests are incredibly ancient, and they go back to Gondwana land millions of years ago. So we'll take a look and try and get some insight as to what's happening here in the closing days of 2019.